Even in a digital age, teachers still expect their child to write neatly. And now we are learning building muscle can play a huge role in penmanship. Here with some exercises for better penmanship along with hand-eye coordination advice is Mom Squad member, former school teacher, but now homeschool teacher and mom of 5, Tamara Chilver. Good morning.
Good morning.
So great to have you back. We always love you being in and being a part of our Mom Squad. So we're talking about penmanship today, and a lot of times I think parents will bring in different worksheets and things for them to do, but there are so many other fun ways other than just the worksheets that we can kind of use the focus on building muscle, right?
Exactly. You've got it right there, making it fun. And before we go into the fun stuff, I want to address writing tools because sometimes children aren't holding their pencil correctly. So if they're using a standard size pencil, I recommend using a pencil grip to help them position the pencil. And also the larger pencils, crayons, and markers for the younger children to help them hold the pencil easier.
Maybe because their hands are a little bit smaller, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Makes it easier.
I remember those grips because, especially after you're writing for a while, if your fingers start to hurt, that can help with that too, because I had to do that when I was little.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so aside from that, then we've got worksheets, right? What do we do with those?
Well, a lot of parents want their children to practice handwriting. They use the worksheets and workbooks like they do in school. But we're going to do different methods and more of creative approach. And one way to do this is using coloring sheets and tracing sheets, mazes, dot to dots, activity books filled with all of these. Kids love this, and it's disguising learning because they don't realize they're practicing handwriting skills.
Absolutely. They're having fun. It makes all the difference. Tamara, why is it so important, I mean, in this digital age that we live in now, why is it so important to work on our penmanship, especially as we are as kids?
Right. Well, they're still going to have to handwrite a lot. I know cursive is kind of fading out in the schools right now, but you definitely have to practice your manuscript. You are going to use it. It is a life skill.
I can't imagine cursive fading out and not using it. Crazy. Okay, so what else do we have?
Okay, we have puzzles. And what is really cool about puzzles, not only do they help fine motor skills, but it also helps reading. When the children are manipulating the puzzle pieces and seeing how they fit together, it's creating these neurological connections in the brain, which set the foundation for reading later on.
Some things you just don't necessarily connect with when you're talking about handwriting. Okay, what else do we have?
We have, if your child loves art, these are perfect to practice fine motor skills, learning to draw books, things that they like to draw, if it's animals or cars, using stencils. And I love these scratch art sheets. Have you seen these before?
I haven't. I was looking at that though. That's really neat. So how does that work?
They come in several in a packet, and there's one that hasn't been completed, and then my son did one last night for the show. And you take this wooden utensil and you scrape off the black coating, and they have these vibrant colors underneath. So they're actually simulating holding a pencil, going through the same motions, but they're creating an art project with it.
Very interesting. Those are really cool. I haven't seen those before. Okay, and what about this?
Stencils, using stencils. Kids love creating projects with stencils, and they're using those fine motor skills again.
And like you mentioned before, all of this, you don't feel like you're doing work. It doesn't feel like boring learning or education. You're making it fun while you are doing it, and I think that makes all the difference.
Definitely.
And then how about over here?
Small toys such as Tinker Toys, Lincoln Logs, Legos. When children are manipulating those, they're improving the dexterity in their hand, which can transfer over to penmanship.
And then in creativity as well, right? And what about one of these? I had one of these when I was younger, and I know it brings me back to being a child.
Good memory.
How can this help as well?
Well, using a lap harp or playing the piano or guitar, playing musical instruments can increase fine motor skills as well.
So maybe not a bad idea to get your kids learning the piano at an early age or something like that. And then we don't want to leave this one out because you said that the Play-Doh is the coolest one of all, right?
It is, because most people do not associate Play-Doh with handwriting. It is one of the best ways I've ever seen to increase handwriting skills, because when they're molding the Play-Doh and creating things, they're exercising the muscles in their hand and they're strengthening it.
Wow.
And so when you're using all these muscles, then it transfers over to handwriting. And there's so many fun things. There's all these homemade Play-Doh recipes you can do now, scented Play-Dohs and edible Play-Dohs that you can find online. And my children and I like to make peanut butter Play-Doh. And after they play with it, they make peanut butter balls, and then they eat it for snack.
Oh my gosh, fun. And you are a mother of 5, so I guess using these ideas with your own children, how have you seen it improve?
Oh, I mean, I always start them really early on, and then they love writing, and then my kids are very artistic and they love coloring. So then when they transfer over to handwriting skills, they've got it.
So much easier. Do they have a favorite out of all of these, or
Play-Doh?
Just any of them? Yeah,
but
of course.
I don't know if that's my favorite because there's a lot of cleanup to it.
It can be a little messy, right? Tamara, thank you so much. A member of our Mom Squad and a mom of 5. You got your hands full all the time, but we always love when you come in and share your ideas with us.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. Do you have a mom